Hello, welcome back to my YouTube. It's Reverse Diet Week 3. Things are ramping up, as in I have an extra 150 calories. Woohoo! Over the course of now it being the third week, I've gone from 1440 to 1950 calories in 3 weeks. And I've been dropping pretty much this whole time. So I dropped 500 grams last week on average. Today my weight was a little bit up. That's kind of an accumulation of the 3 days of eating more food. So I'll be very interested to see how I go this week. Did I say I was 1950? I'm 1850. So 400, 400. Maths is not my friend. So I'm 400 calories up across in my third week. So that's relatively quicker than I anticipated I'd be climbing. I didn't think it'd be every week I'd need to increase, but because of the drops that I've been seeing, that's just what's happening. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this week. I find where I'm at in my cycle really fluctuates the scale readings. So the first week when I reversed, yeah, you're adding in more food, so there's going to be increases. But I was ovulating and you retain more water due to the increased estrogen. So I felt kind of watery in my body, and I don't think that had anything to do with the calories. The week that's just gone was like the good spot in my cycle where I'm not feeling watery and I'm feeling really good. Whereas now I'm kind of, I think, a week before my period. Let's check. Things start to get like more watery, more water retention. I'm already starting to get like some cramps. All right, so 10 days until my period apparently. So no, 9 days. Yes, so I'm in the week in the lead up where, you know, things just start to become a little bit more of a struggle. Anyway, hi. So it's going well. Oh my God, I literally say this 50 million times, but what else can I say? Like it is. Anyway, I'm just about to make some brekkie. What am I gonna have now? I have all these calories. I'm just gonna do the usual. I'm just gonna have protein oats because I missed it over this weekend. So every Saturday I do my protein pancakes and Sunday I do my French toast. By Sunday, I'm hanging out for my oats. I was thinking of having Wheat Bix today, gluten-free Wheat Bix with protein and milk like shaken together to get the protein in. And I was like, I miss my oats so much. I'm just gonna have that. I literally would just... That was the dumbest thing I was about to say. I was like, I'd have them every day if I could. I'm like, you can though, and you choose what you eat every day anyway. All right, it's Monday, I'm feeling good. This is what the extra food does. It gives you energy. It makes you just not, I don't know, weird. Who's the little puppy? Who's the little big puppy? You're so big now, aren't you? You're so big, and he loves sitting in the sunshine. Don't you? Don't you? Don't you? Guys, don't mind what I'm wearing. I was just playing this game with Patch and I'm freaking dying. Ready?
15 minutes later.
Whoa! Oh my God. I am so unfit. I'm so not cardio fit. You're okay. We made it. Please tell me someone else does this weird shit with their dogs. So a thing happened today and we were freaked out. I was doing my makeup and Patch has separation anxiety, so he was also in the bathroom with me. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, the entire house started shaking. And this house has like thick, how many times can I say thick thick limestone like bricks. So it's a sturdy, solid house, and it shook. It shook. It literally felt like someone had a wrecking ball had been smashed into the house, and the house was shaking and it was about to crumble. And I was putting my mascara on and I was like, oh my God. And I looked at Patch and he looked freaked out, and I ran out of the bathroom because it was literally like swaying. And to give you an indication for how scared I was, I left my phone in the bathroom. I didn't even think to grab my phone, and I ran out and I was like, something has crashed into the house. I'm expecting, this is so random, but I'm expecting a new bed head to be delivered, and I was like, maybe it's a giant truck doing a delivery and it's just shook the house. I don't know. And I ran outside and I was like, there's nothing here. And so I messaged my family group WhatsApp and was like, oh my God, the whole house just shook like an earthquake. And then everyone in my family replied and they were like, us too. And like my family in Melbourne, that's like 2 hours away from where I am. My mum's down the road. So there was a 6.0 magnitude, which is a moderate one, earthquake. And I don't think I've ever felt or experienced an earthquake before. If people who are not in Australia watching this channel, we do not get them. They're not common. And so, yeah, that happened this morning. It was so crazy. And Dad's not here at the moment. He's at his other property. So it's just me and Patch. And I was like, what do I do? Like, stand in a doorway? No, I just ran out. And then I ran back in and grabbed my phone so I could message my family and be like, what is happening? Moral of the story, I'm leaving Victoria because Victoria is just... we've got the lockdown, we've got the earthquakes. I'm going to Queensland. No, not yet, at least. So anyway, reverse diet update. I just re-watched the YouTube that is going up today on the first week of the reverse diet. And in it, I said that I explained the process I was going to be following in the previous video, and then I realized I actually cut that out. I don't think. I have the worst memory. I think it's just because I create and edit so much content that I honestly forget where I've said what. All right, so with reverse dieting, there are two approaches that you can take. So our metabolism is adaptive in that it adapts downwards and upwards. So if you reduce calories, it's going to adapt down. It's a survival mechanism that's been, created and primed, and it's something we've had since like forever. So it's smart, right? So when you eat less, it's like, oh, I need to conserve energy. I need to make sure we're able to run and operate and do all the day-to-day things we do on the lesser calories. So I'm going to bring like all of our sort of systems down to that level. And it also upregulates to a point, right? So you can't just go and start eating all this food and being like, oh, my metabolism will upregulate. There are going to be different people are going to have a different adaptive metabolism. So you might be someone who really quickly adjusts or someone who takes a little bit longer to adjust. When we factor in that down regulation, there's not like a percentage I can give you. It's more like guessing, I think. This is where being an experienced coach comes in. So you'll look at the length of time someone's been in a deficit, how much weight they've lost, and make a bit of a judgment call from there. So it might be, say, like 200 calories down from where your maintenance started. So for me, I started on 2,000 calories, so maybe my maintenance is around 18. That bird needs to shut up. Shut up! I actually hate birds, and ironically, I have one tattooed on my ankle. So dumb. So, say my maintenance was 2,000, come down to 1,800. So we would say that my predicted maintenance is, say, 1,800. That's like the new down-regulated. So we're going to try and work to get back to 2,000 and then some. So what we would do is, for the first option, is jump back to the 1,800 and just consistently eat that. And then once you get to that 1,800 consistently and you maintain your weight, you will see a spike in the scale, and then it should come back down and then maintain. Once you've been maintaining for a few weeks, then you can start reverse dieting and adding the 50 to 100 calories every 1 to 2 weeks based on how your body is responding to the extra food weight-wise, and just go from there. It's a lot of just trial and testing and seeing how the body's responding. The second option, which is the one that I don't typically do, but I am doing this time, is a really good option for people to use if they've finished a diet and they're in a good headspace with it. So like I said in the previous videos, when you finish a deficit, very often you're like burnt out and you're done, and the thought of just having to be sort of strict or be on lower calories is really difficult. We don't want to get to that point. We want to stop the diet, the point where I stopped the diet, in that mindset where I'm like, cool, I could keep dieting, but I know I'm going to have another go later on. So I'm in a good space to slowly bring my calories back up. So as I said, you can add 50 to 100 every 1 to 2 weeks based on how you're going. So initially we added, 200 calories. You're not adding just 50 in the first week. We're adding a decent amount of calories, so it feels like, the diet, the hard part of the deficit is over. Yes, you're still in a deficit, but it's just a less aggressive one. From there, as you've seen me showing in this reverse diet, we've gone based on what my weight's done. And I told you guys those percentages for kind of parameters to look out for which point you would add calories and how much you would add. So yeah, that's kind of, you know, the slow incremental or jumping straight back to maintenance. That's pretty much how you do it. We're obviously doing the slow incremental, the slow incremental approach. So that's that. Hope that clears it up. Hope I've answered your questions. Guys, I'm in my tan. I managed to do my whole body before the bottle ran out. I just had a delivery, which is exciting. I ordered a new bed head from McMullen & Co. I've been eyeing off their bed head for so long, and then they had a sale, so I was like, yes. It's a boucle, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but you know the cushions I have on my bed, the like fluffy kind of material? It's that, and it's this like cloud kind of shape. I don't know why I'm explaining it when I can just show you, but Dad's currently at his other property and can't help me unpack it, so I'm just trying to decide if I do it myself or wait for him to come back. I feel like I can do it myself. I would be doing this if I was alone anyway, so I need to channel my inner independent gal again. Patch, I really don't want him to become a barking dog, but he does. I think it's just a fear thing, but he hears the door and he barks, and it's really annoying, and I don't know how to stop it. We really need to get him to some training. The lockdown is causing grief. Anyway, happy Thursday. All right. How beautiful is it, by the way? Stunning. I really need to change my sheets and my doona. My actual doona is like this nice kind of linen grey colour. But I feel like this is obviously the feature. Is he okay? This is obviously the feature, so we want that to be seen. So do I have the pillows, which are all mismatched cases, up like that or flat? I feel like we need minimal pillows, and I'm like a multiple pillows kind of girl. And then I've got the matching, like these are the same material. So do they go behind or in front? I don't know. I'm going to do some Pinteresting and see what I think looks cute. Guys, happy Friday. Not heaps to report from this week, although when I was reflecting on how the reverse was going, I had a realization that my hunger has been a lot more manageable, satiated, less present. I've definitely had more like cravings and stuff, but that's because I got my period and what's it, day 2, 3 today. But interesting fact, since I've, you know, gotten leaner and obviously just been working on the gut health and endo stuff, I've been a lot less sort of bloated and stomach distended. And it's like, is that just because there's less fat on me, or is that because I've been working on managing the symptoms, or is it just this period, like this cycle? Who knows? But it was really weird to see myself having a flat stomach despite having my period, which is usually like a super bloating time for me. So I was like, this is confusing, but I'm not complaining. And yeah, the cravings associated with my period, I always get in the lead up, but it was just kind of thrown me because, as I said, it's earlier than the app was telling me, so they're just like syncing up a bit better. I actually ended up eating a later meal last night because I was meant to get a fasted blood test today, and then it's a public holiday and they're not open in this small town that I live in. So that was really annoying because it has to be on the 2nd or 3rd day of my period. So now I have to wait a whole other cycle because tomorrow's a weekend and they won't be open. Yeah, so that's kind of it from me. I've got, you know, an extra 100 calories over the weekend. So, you know, it just means a bit of food variety, I guess. I've been loving eating pasta on my weekend days. Patch, your timing is just impeccable. Something else I keep noticing, I just remember that when I turn my head, can you see? Every time I turn my head and I look, obviously I can't see what the back of my head looks like. And then I look back on these clips and I see my tape sticking out and I'm like, that is just so trashy and tacky, but it's lockdown. I literally can't do anything about it. But I have got the spray. Where is it? Oh yeah, the spray to actually take my tapes out, but my hair without. So I bought clip-ins, but I had to return them because I got the wrong color, blah, blah, long story. I don't have them at the moment. And I refuse to have, I think I would rather have showing tapes and horrible tape reveal over no tapes at all, because my hair without it is this like mullet. It's just not cute. So that just, let me just explain myself. All right, I gotta keep working. All right, it is grand final eve, guys. I'm so excited. I couldn't even get through faking that. I am not a sports person, but it is a huge thing in Victoria, specifically the AFL, the football, Australian football. Grand finals tomorrow, and my dad's team is playing for the first time in 60 something years. So I really want to make cupcakes with like the red and blue colours, which is the team colours, to celebrate whatever. So I'm looking up recipes, and I'm looking up like gluten-free cupcake recipe, gluten-free cupcake healthy recipe, and they just all have all of these, like, I'm sure they're necessary, but like I'm not going to use 5 different, that's an exaggeration, there was 3 different flours. Coconut, anything that calls for coconut flour, I'm sorry, no, I've tried playing with it multiple times and it just never works out. Xanthan gum, like all these like weird additives. I'm like, why do you complicate these things? So I've just found a recipe, like basic cupcakes, and I'm just gonna make my own substitutes and wing it. This is literally why I made my own recipe book, Cook with Soph, because I feel like the healthier recipes, as in things that just don't use super refined ingredients, are always so complicated. And it's like, also, I didn't ask for your life story when I looked up a recipe for cupcakes. I just want the recipe. I don't want to know why your kids had a party and this was the favorite cupcake. Like, I'm not here to read an essay. I genuinely just want the recipe. Give me the recipe. I just scroll down like for 5 minutes to find this recipe, and then I'm like, I'm not even using it. Anyway, rant over. I'm gonna go to the supermarket, get some ingredients, come back and get cooking. I already hate myself for deciding to do this because I opened this packet of caramel choc chips and I've already just been like having little handfuls here and there, and I'm like, oh my god, these are so addictive and hard not to do. I'm just gonna quickly make the cookies and then put them away because literally my willpower. It was, you know, it's very strong, but when it's in front of me, that's why I don't buy this stuff and have it in the house, because when it's in front of me, it's really hard not to eat it. Anyway, are we loving this color? I put it on and I was like, oh, I really like this color. Anyway, I'm gonna make these and I'll show you guys how they go and how much of this packet is left by the end of it. Are you excited? You don't actually get any. Oh my god, they're so big. They're spreading out so much. These look good. Kind of flat though. Don't know why they didn't go chunky, but...
Trying to get every skerrick of this.
Oh my god, you picked a goodie. I'm so excited for you. Okay, stop being a freak and just tell me how the cookie is.
Oh, beautiful. Love it.
That's literally the fakest report because you barely even... you haven't even eaten it yet.
I ate the crumb bit that came off the side. It was scrumptious.
Dad's a dark chocolate kind of gal, and I put caramel in there, caramel choc chips, caramel chips.
Looks like dark chocolate to me.
Oh yeah, and dark chocolate.
Yeah, dark chocolate.
Do you like them? Are they good?
Yeah, I'll eat them all.
Okay, so it's
still
good.
Going. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, actually, you're not just saying that because the camera's out.
No, I'm just saying because the camera's out.
Savage.
That's bloody awesome. Thank you.
All right, good to know. I don't think you're the type that would lie. Okay, now I'm actually gonna have dinner. So I literally had that cookie as my pre-dinner, and now I'm gonna have some prawns, some rice noodles, some snow peas, capsicum, carrot, and broccolini. I've just put some ginger and coconut aminos in it, so it's basic but delish. I mean, it's no cookie, but pretty good. Round 2.
Round 2. Scraping and serving. Lovely work, Tim.
Right, so they're good then.
Yeah, they're good.
What time is it, Patch? What time is it? Is it time for a bath? I just finished my workout. It was actually a great workout. I did some front squats and I did some hip thrusts. Finally felt good doing hip thrusts. I just haven't been feeling them lately. And I did Bulgarians and then dumbbell Romanians and then the straddle lift. I'll post this on Instagram, so it'll be live by the time you guys see this YouTube. And then I finish off with some skipping. I did some cardio, random. But yeah, Patch is gonna have a bath now because it rained on him and he's a bit stinky. Thanks for giving me a bath right now. He's so cute, but he does not like a bath, so I'm gonna give him treats and we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. Ready? Come here. Good boy, come on. Come here. Good boy. Come on. Come on. Good boy, you did so well. You did so well. So now I'm making these cupcakes and oh my god. This batter, just don't mind the mess. Look at this. This is literally like what dreams are made of. Oh my god, this is just out of control. It's not like a healthy version. I was gonna make it that, but I'm not really eating them anyway. They're for Dad and he doesn't care about that kind of thing. So I just use gluten-free self-raising flour. There's a lot of sugar in them, like a lot. I was pouring it in and was just like, no, this can't be right. So anyway, I'm going to cook these and then put some cute little red and white ice, red and blue, get the colours right, team colours right, icing on them. And we'll see how they turn out. I don't know if I was actually meant to beat them, more like whisk by hand. We'll see, I don't know. Alright, I've just made the icing. It looks incredible and it tastes really good. So it's like that buttercream, oh my god, that's my alarm for the cupcakes. Buttercream icing, it's basically just butter and sugar and milk. And I'm gonna separate it and add the red and the blue separately so I can then do the cupcakes when they're out. Alright, it's all coming together. We've got the blue icing, the red icing, the sports teams. It's actually like a navy blue, but whatever. We've got the first batch out. This is the dye on my finger. The first ones are out and the second ones, I would say pretty much ready. So ugly.
Me?
No, the cupcakes. They're literally the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Okay, you try one.
And dog's dick pink as the red.
Is it alright?
Well,
Show us
good,
the
mate.
inside. Okay,
Primo.
looks fluffy and yummy.
Delicious.
Guys, I'm making my bed. Patch is going mental. You know when you put your doona cover over the doona? I'll see if I can show you guys. I was like shaking it out. Didn't work. It just like rolls off. I didn't see him there the first time. And I was like shaking it like that and all of a sudden Patch just flies out of the doona. Are you having fun? You think we're playing, but I'm just trying to make the bed. I'm trying to make the bed. Someone help me. We have got some catching up to do. It is a recap time. I showed you more of a weekly style vlog this week of just like living life and, you know, obviously the reverse diet and everything. So I want to jump into the numbers because they were a bit different from the previous week. Obviously the previous week I had like quite a significant drop. I had a 500-gram drop from eating more food. It was 1785 was the weekly average. I actually ended up averaging 1853 calories for the week. And then I had those 2 higher days on Saturday and Sunday. The week that followed, was obviously a little bit different because I got my period on Wednesday. So it definitely spiked the numbers, caused a lot more water retention. You know, having that, I was like, oh, no wonder I had like more cravings for sweeter foods than typically. And so I also did that baking. And so baking isn't something I do a whole lot, but when I do, I really struggle not to eat the batter and eat like a lot of what I cook. So I'm really glad Dad's here because he's taken one for the team and eaten all the cookies now. I think I had 3.5 cookies. And initially I didn't track and I was like, I literally never do this. I'm not going to track. And I was actually remembered the quantities I use and I was like, out of interest, I would really like to see how much these actually came to. So I ended up tracking them. The total calories for that day ended up being 2168. My goal for Sunday was actually 2150. So I just reshuffled the days so that higher day was the day I had the cookies. The rest was sticking to what my goals were. This next bit, I'm going to say, I'm just going to be 100% honest with you guys because I think that you guys really appreciate me for being honest. And sometimes it can be hard because this whole YouTube, I feel like I've just been killing it. And I think it's really important for me to share this part. I felt really guilty after eating 3 cookies. I'm always unsure of how to share this because I don't want to add fuel to fire where people feel guilty for eating certain foods and where we use language like good and bad foods. And it's not that I felt guilty for eating the cookie because it was a cookie. It was because my goal for that day was to stick to whatever my calories were, and I went over with a habit that I thought I had fully kicked. And so when you do something that doesn't align with what you've been doing and where you want to go, it just brings up a lot of identity stuff. And you're like, oh my God, I thought I was done with those old habits. And I feel like, I catastrophized and I was like, oh my God, this is me now. I'm going to go back to being that person that like ruins their reverse diet. Like, just a lot of fear-based stuff came up for me, but I'm really proud of the fact that I changed the narrative. So I journaled about it, I wrote about it. So what was really important for me the next day was to just continue as normal. So I was able to rewrite the narrative around that and the perception I had. But I just want to be really honest and say like I did feel guilty because of that. But I'm really proud of myself for how I navigated that. And I'm really glad I can show you guys that I'm not perfect all the time. I still do things that feel like they're against what I want to do, but what I do next is what's really informative and important. So hopefully you guys can resonate with some of that. I'm sure you can, because I know it's a very common experience. So back to the weekly recap of the numbers. What did we start on? So from the week before, so on Monday, I increased 500 grams, and then I dropped down 400, and then I went up 300. That was the day I got my period. I stayed the same the next day, and then I jumped up 500, and then I jumped up another 600, and then that's when I had the kilo drop. I actually had a gain over the week, so I gained 229 grams, which is fine. It's within expected range for a reverse diet, but we're also factoring in my period, and also this week my calories jumped too. So from the previous week I had a 150 calorie increase. That increase, my protein was the same, 150 grams. Increase went to carbs and fats. So for the first time my fats have increased by 5 grams to 50. 200 grams for the carbs. So overall it was like, 1850 Monday to Saturday, and then Sunday I had 2150. So my weekly average was 1892. Because I've got all this extra food, I've got extra energy, which is just a joy. After a deficit, it's so good. So I did something weird on the weekend. I did cardio. I don't know. I'm having an identity crisis. I'm not really. And it wasn't, guys, it wasn't a response to eating more food. I promise. It was like weird. My dad started like going out and using the rower, which we have. And I just feel like he inspired me to just do some cardio. I don't know, it's so weird. But I will say I thoroughly enjoy skipping because there's a skill component to it and it's like play. And I don't have a lot of play in my life except, patch. So I feel like it's just really fun for me. I don't class it as like cardio where I'm trying to like grill myself. It's just like fun, and I'm obviously working out at the same time. So last week my average steps were 14,987 and this week they were 15,500. So they went up, and yeah, I had one cardio session and then I think I did some skipping again as like one of the other days. So that was yesterday, and then today, who knows, it's like the period. I had a huge sleep last night. I had 9 hours sleep last night. I went to bed so early. I was so tired. And I did a huge beach walk with my friends. So I've been very active. And so today I actually did have quite a big drop. I dropped 700 and it brought me back down to my lowest weigh-in again from this entire time. So from the end of my deficit to last week where I think I hit this number last week. Okay, this is a new low. It's a new low. So, I mean, calories this week are staying the same purely because when you have an increase of like 200 or whatever, rather than adding more food, we just want to see if the variables, like instead of changing too many variables, I often speak about this, because there were so many things at play, like a week of increased food for the first time. It's the most I've eaten since before the diet. My period is going to be affecting the scale, and there was like some sort of adherence things going on. So we just want to repeat the same and just see how this week goes. So, I mean, yeah, a new low this week, today, which is a Monday, but we're going based on last week's data. So from the very start of the deficit, which was 11 weeks ago now, plus the 3 weeks I've been reversing, I've dropped 6.6 kilos, and I'm not really gaining. I'm just kind of maintaining around this range where it's just, obviously the reverse is doing really well. I put up a story to on Insta. I'm like, this reverse is like magic, but it's not. It's just your body thrives when you give it more food in a controlled and consistent manner. Not like random spikes here and there of like overeating and then trying to make up for it and focusing on a weekly average. It's just consistently hitting pretty much the same calories every single day. I'm making sure I'm getting my protein in. I'm training hard. I'm using the extra energy to go for walks and things. It's really just, you know, it's those things done consistently that yield the best results. So that is the week. That is the recap of the numbers. I don't think there's anything else I need to report. Everything else is just sort of ticking along. So that is the reverse recap. And guess what's crazy? Anyway, I feel like when I started this YouTube, we were in lockdown. Today we are out of lockdown partially. So where I am, so Melbourne's still in a hard lockdown, but we have some more freedoms here in regional Vic. So the gym is actually open, but for 10 people at a time. There's no booking system and you're capped at 30 minutes. So I think I'm gonna go to the gym today just because I miss it so much. You know, the idea of waiting in line, like I just hate wasting time. Especially because it's like a 20-minute drive for me. If I drive 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back and have to wait, it's just like I could be working out at home and being more efficient with my time, but I just miss machines. Like I miss messing myself up. You can't really train close to failure with free weights. But anyway, I'm not gonna go on because this is probs super long, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm so excited to see people talking about reverse dieting and eating more food and getting excited about it. We're on. Patch just freaked out when I clapped. Anyway, I will chat to you guys real soon, as in next week, for another catch up reverse diet update. Love you so much. Keep these suggestions coming for what videos you want to see, and I will get filming. Please make sure you subscribe, like, comment, follow, and do the things. I was about to say follow my channel and realize I already said subscribe. All right. Okay, let's go. Bye. Love you guys.